This is a book review of Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. We are Accessory to Success and happy to be reviewing a lot of business books here. And as a result, we get some great tidbits from all these books. And we like to package them up and send them out at an email. If you'd like to subscribe to our email newsletter, that's the kind of thing we send out. On to the main takeaways. If you wish to master the science of persuasion and influence by Robert Cialdini is the book to read. What makes people change behavior? What makes them say yes? And how to persuade people? This understanding dawned on me as I devoured the pages of this book. Dr. Robert Cialdini is a renowned expert in the field of influence and persuasion. With 35 years of experience under his belt, he is clearly an expert in the field of academics and research. He spent 3 years doing field research for this book alone. The psychology of persuasion is clearly explained in this book. It is not just an opinionated theory, but is backed by studies and examples, proving the theories. This book very clearly walks the talk on the science of persuasion. In this book, you'll learn why people say yes, the psychology behind it, how and why people make the decisions they make, the triggers or stimuli which can get people to automatically say yes, the psychological principles of persuasion behind 6 weapons of influence, and how to effectively use the 6 weapons of influence to get people to comply, become a skilled persuader, and also learn to defend yourself against other skilled persuaders. On to the book summary. At first glance at the contents within this book, it reveals some common approaches to the art of persuasion. A more intense read will show you the wealth of detailed explanation given on why and how to use it to your advantage and leverage it in marketing. The crux of every marketing strategy is to influence customer behavior and to sway the purchasing behavior of the customer. This book is a fantastic guide for marketing persons to influence buying behavior and customer behavior. People from all other walks of life can also bring about drastic personal change and get success in life by adapting the 6 principles of influence outlined by Cialdini in this brilliant book. If you enjoy the read, I recommend the book Competing Against Luck as well. Reciprocity. This topic, or the idea, is established early in the book. People feel indebted to return a favor. If you do something for them, they're inclined to return it. Example 1. Free samples provided by marketers are in reality gifts which force you to reciprocate. The rule of reciprocity kicks in and you will not be able to walk away without buying their product. Example 2. The good cop, bad cop strategy. The criminal opens up to the good cop and provides all the required information to him in return of the kindness shown to him by the good cop. Because is a magic word to use to get people to comply with your request. When you request a favor, let people know why you need the favor. This point is made evident in these lines from the book. The topic of humans' automatic action is showcased in an experiment by Harvard social psychologist Ellen Langer. The undisputed principle explained here is that when someone asks you to do the favor, we are much more likely to comply with their request if they give us a reason. Humans like to have a reason when we're doing something. The example used in the book is simply asking people waiting in line to use a library copying machine if they can make their copies first because they were in a hurry. It was the combination of the request plus reason that led to a 94% success rate in this test. When the same request was made without a reason, the success rate was only 60%. Commitment and consistency. When people commit to a goal or an idea, they are likely to honor the commitment. The commitment can be verbal or in writing. It stems from a desire to be true to our intentions and self-image. At later stages, if the motivation is removed, people continue to remain consistent to their commitments. This can also be called the foot in the door rule. Example: the prices of cars are raised at the last moment by car salesmen, but people continue with the purchase as they are already committed or have set their mind to buy this particular car. Once we have made a choice or taken a stand, we will encounter personal and interpersonal pressures to behave consistently with that commitment. Those pressures will cause us to respond in ways that justify our earlier decision. A sales book that touches on this is The Ultimate Sales Machine. Social proof. Social proof is the idea that if others are doing a certain act, it must be good and correct. Generally, we tend to rely on social proof when we're unsure about ourselves or the path ahead is seemingly unclear and uncertain. Cialdini also points out that we look for social proof in people similar to us. The book Contagious goes into great detail about this. Advertising thrives on social proof. Claims and images of people using, praising, and endorsing a product are all engaging the principle of social proof. Example 1. When eating a messy and unknown food at a dinner party, most will turn to observe how their fellow diners are eating it before attempting to eat themselves. Example 2. Small movie clips are shown to introverted children about how other introverted children, like them, become social and have fun. The study found that soon thereafter, those kids were likely to come out of their shell and become more boisterous and extroverted kids. Liking. People tend to gravitate towards people they like. This is the primary reason why attractive people have many followers who like and trust them more than others. We also like people who share similarities, commonalities with us, people who pay compliments to us, and people who work on the same team as us. Attraction is also created through association. Example 1. A car salesman would send out a monthly greeting card to all his customers with a simple, "I like you," printed on the card. This was such an effective tactic because people liked him right back and would recommend their friends and associates to avail of the services of this wonderful salesman. Example 2. Using an attractive and sexy model to sell your car. The customer then views the car as being more attractive and appealing than it actually is. The car begins to look more enticing just by virtue of being associated with a beautiful model. Authority. A well-recognized authority figure commands compliance and wields tremendous influence on the thoughts, words, and actions of the more common men. Title, status, dress, general bearing, and personality all indicate importance and authority. Knowledge and trustworthiness also dictate how much authority you wield. Much more on this in the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Scarcity. Scarce or hard-to-get things are often considered more valuable. When we perceive scarcity, demand increases. Scarcity increases value, desirability, and enables swift decision-making in order to procure the scarce commodity. Some other lovely examples of this can be found in the book Alchemy. Example 1. When products are advertised with a limited period offer, there is a scramble to buy them before the offer expires. Example 2. When a person seeking to sell a car calls 4 prospective buyers at the same time to evaluate and assess the car, he is more likely to sell the car swiftly. The fact that the car may be grabbed by the other compels one to make a quicker and bigger bid to acquire the car. This book is really dense, valuable, and requires more than just a surface reading. It will have you thinking about the psychology of persuasion and how best to apply it in your business to influence customer behavior and customer buying behavior. This is definitely one of those books that you will rabbit ear, underline, highlight, and reference back when writing emails or devising customer strategies. Another interesting book on influencing a customer strategy is Return on Courage. About the author. Dr. Robert Cialdini has spent his entire career researching the science of influence, earning him an international reputation as an expert in the fields of persuasion, compliance, and negotiation. He is frequently regarded as the godfather of influence. His books include Influence, Science, and Practice, are the results of decades of peer-reviewed research on why people comply with requests. Influence has sold over 3 million copies in over 30 languages, and it is a New York Times bestseller. His new book, Persuasion, A Revolutionary Way to Influence and Persuade, published by Simon & Schuster, quickly became a Wall Street Journal and a New York Times bestseller as well. Dr. Cialdini is CEO and president of Influence at Work, focused on ethical influence training, corporate keynote programs, and the CMCT, Cialdini Method Certified Trainer program. His clients include several MNCs like Google, Microsoft, Cisco Systems, Bayer, Coca-Cola, KPMG, Kodak, Merrill Lynch, Pfizer, IBM, the U.S. Department of Justice, NATO, and many more. This has been a book review of Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. This is Accessory to Success. Thanks for listening to this review. There's been many other books recommended in this review. Feel free to go to the blog post where you can find links to all of them. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next review.